guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther if you're seeing my face for the first time, and if you're not, welcome back to the channel. Here I share information for international students or prospective international students that are looking to move to the United States for your master's program, bachelor's program. I share information about scholarship, visa tips, and all the good information that you need to know, even concerning your move to a more permanent status after your study in the United States. I have a playlist on my channel called Study and Live in America. You can check it out on my channel. Ensure that you subscribe if you are yet to, so that you can get access to all of this information whenever I share them. Yeah, and as you guys can see on my screen already, we have somebody in the house today. I have Kingsford Onyina. He is a student currently in the United States studying for his master's program, and is also a YouTuber. On his YouTube channel, he shares information like scholarship opportunities, visa tips as well that can also help you as a prospective international student if you are looking to come to the United States. So I'll leave the link for his channel in the description box. So ensure that you check it out and subscribe. I'm sure that all the information there, you find them valuable. That is if you already do not know him. For those that already know him, you know that. So without wasting much time, Kingsford, thank you for joining us here today. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here, and I hope to share the little that I know. Yeah.
Little indeed. Everybody knows that you are very full of energy, so there's no little with you.
It will come.
There's no little with you at all. All right. So, can you share a bit about probably what your experience has been so far studying in the United States?
Yeah. So I'm originally from Ghana, where I did my bachelor's in economics and political science, and I had a chance to come and study right after my undergrad. And so I'm reading masters in economics, and I would say my experience so far, it's been amazing studying an economy that is the largest. I mean, having the largest share of, the global GDP. It's the best. So I'm really enjoying. Yeah, it's
And
been good.
also enjoying free education while at it.
That's right. That's right.
Who doesn't like free things?
That's
Free
right.
education. Okay, so let's talk about application. Right now, a lot of schools are taking applications, especially for schools that don't have rolling admission. Some of them have applications open now for like spring semester. And so for students that are watching that have not even started their journey because they are not sure when to start or where to start, based on your own experience, what would you say is the best time to start their study in the US journey?
Yeah. Thank you, Esther. So, what I would say is that first they need to understand how the academic calendar works here. They are having 3 semesters in this country. That is the first semester, the fall semester, which starts in August to December. That is the first semester. They have the spring semester. That is the second semester, which starts from January to May. Then the summer semester, that is the third semester from May through to August. So this is how it works in this country. So I want people to understand that if you want funding, which all of you want funding,
Happy?
yeah, the best term to go for is the fall semester. That is the first semester. That is August to December of next year, 2023. So if you want funding and you are really keen on that, the best time to apply is now. A lot of schools have already opened application. Majority
For fall 2023.
for
So
fall.
nobody should think fall 2022 is closed already.
That's right. So if you want to come here next year, 2023, the time is now. And to be on a safer side, by December, you should be done with the application. Have what we call priority deadline. Priority deadline. And a lot of schools have theirs in January 15th, and in a worst case scenario, February 15th. But I would say that try and go in as early as you can. By December, clear your hands out in the application process and just start praying for favor to locate you. So that is what.
Yeah, I actually also agree with you
Mhm.
because now with the old, I don't know if it's happening like that in Ghana, but I know that for in Nigeria, like the visa situation right now, you need to like book ahead. So
That's
imagine if you have finished application by December, let's say
mhm,
get your admission decision by January or
mhm,
or let's say latest by March,
mhm.
which in most cases is not maybe by I
February.
feel like by if you finish by December, I feel like by January or February, you should know your admission decision. You
That's right.
can easily, quickly, put in your application for visa, and you have enough time in. So I also believe that at this point it's very important to make haste while the sunshine, like start ASAP, ASAP. So now that we've talked about when to start, I hope that is clear to everybody.
Mhm.
Let's talk about common application errors that international students make. The focus of our channel, being international students is international students. So we want to be specific.
That's right.
International students, the mistakes they make that cost them admission, that cost them funding. Some don't get admission, some get admission, they don't get funding. So,
Yeah.
what are some of the errors or mistakes that people make or oversights that they do that they can avoid so that they don't fall into this situation?
Yeah. All right, Esther. So with the mistakes, I'll first pick it from what we just left from. I mean, applying, or submitting application after the priority deadline. If you submit your application after the priority deadline, admission, I always say that admission is nothing. Admission,
Mm-hmm.
quote and unquote, is nothing in the sense
Mm-hmm.
that it's quite easier to get unless the I. So if you submit after priority deadline, just know that you have missed your chance of getting scholarship. Unless the coordinator probably allowed you to put in the application. It happens sometimes due to one or two reasons. Then we come to the other ones, documentation, presenting fake documents. Some schools allow applicants to submit unofficial transcript. That is a transcript that you, the individual, submit through your own personal, yeah, directly, not from your alma mater, but from yourself. So when they are submitting, they try to kind of, work on the document, input some fake grades here and there to just increase the chance of getting funding. And later, the school will require to bring in the official one. And when it does not tally, you find yourself wanting. They'll take your admission, they take your funding, they will even ban you from applying to the school.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
is one
And the
mistake.
US is very serious about record keeping. They
That's right.
keep your record for life. That's it.
They will ban you. So don't send any fake documents, not only transcripts, CV. Don't go and say what you have not done. Be very honest. Just be yourself and put in what you have. Then also plagiarism, SOPs. Avoid just copying SOPs online and putting them in the application. Once you just do those things, just know that you are out of the whole system.
There's no way you won't even be found out on that because SOP is supposed to be personal. So if you
Personal.
download it from somewhere and it's not matching.
That's right. So that is what people forget. Then I want to just talk about documents before I move to the other ones. So that's part of the document SOP. Then recommendation letters. Some applicants, back in Africa, it is very difficult to get the professors to kind of write it for you.
Mhm.
So do you know what some people are doing nowadays? They go for the letters from the professors, or probably create their own letters, create their own emails, and be sending fake recommendation letters. You might find your way through with some schools, but I know a friend who did that and later got himself, wanting because the school took the funding they gave him back after they discovered it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
terrible.
that's
How
very
would you survive at that point?
yeah. So I always tell people that try in this process, try to avoid any human error.
Honesty.
Try as much as possible that whatever that is in your capacity to do, do it. Don't make any mistake. So that is one thing. Then also when writing to professors, to people just try to send any generic emails. Those who need supervisors, they just be sending. Any generic email, thinking that they just think this process is just like a lottery. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a random thing that the school just say that, oh, okay,
Oh, yeah.
Esther, come and study in our school. No, they don't just throw money at people. They take their time to review it. So please,
Because it's actually competitive.
it's a competition. It's a competition. So you need to kind of put in yourself into the process, immerse yourself, and do it. So when writing to professors, avoid an example like writing to a professor for the first time. They say, "Hey, Esther." Meanwhile, you don't know the person from anywhere. So, dear Professor Esther, blah blah blah. They're
That professor is actually very important
very
for
important.
some people, though we know that this is America.
Yes.
Maybe a lot of people do first name basis, but I think out of courtesy as well.
In
People
academic
address people with their titles.
in academic system, you start from the highest to the lowest. So that means if you go professor and the person said, "Oh, you can call me Henry," that is fine.
That's
But
fine.
don't
Yeah,
start low to the
it's
highest.
for somebody you don't know.
Mhm.
For somebody you don't know.
Yeah. So that is that. Be very professional in writing to professors. And also your document, you be very professional in present your document. Just
Mhm.
be very professional. Professionalism. Aside fake document, be very professional. Then with regards to funding and other stuffs, to the errors they make is that they don't look out for schools having internal funding in department.
Mhm.
Some just apply to the school because they've seen a program, let's say psychology in University of Central Michigan. Then you just go and put in application. But for all you know, there is no funding in that department.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that a lot of times. Yeah, sure.
And they will finish and they'll come to you, oh, I have admission, I don't have funding. No, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Always
Some
ensure.
programs might, when they say scholarship, scholarship might not apply generally to the school. It might
Mhm.
be limited to some department. And what I think sometimes is they do that maybe to encourage enrollment in that department.
That's right. So that is what I would say about that. Then also to one thing that really worked for me was that I will share with them to end it there. As we go on, I think some questions should be coming up. Is that always try to get some form of relationship with the career coordinator. Don't try to force yourself on him or her, but
Mm-hmm.
try as much as possible. Since they are the people in charge of the admission decision, let them know you. How? Introduce yourself in an email. Then also go with a tangible question. If you don't have a question, just an introduction and also just kind of like getting in touch is fine. Be sincere. And don't beg for money in your emails. The scholarship,
Especially in the first email.
don't, like, I'm really serious here. My mother is dead, my father is dead, sorry to say. I don't have anybody taking care of me. I'm a brilliant student. Like, don't go and be telling those traditional stories, please. They hate it. They hate it. They will pin your name and just know that you are out of the scholarship, competition. Just go as it is. The eligibility criteria, read it. If it is by merit, fine. If it is a need-based scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
you can go and say those things. But majority of the scholarships are given through what?
Merit.
Merit-based. And I'm sure I'll be addressing how to get some other scholarship in the department as Esther, continue to ask me further questions. I don't want to kind of keep talking. Let me allow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one other thing that I also want to talk about is something that you mentioned briefly, need based and need blind. There are
Mm,
some schools that even when you apply to them in terms of scholarship, they are need blind, means that they don't really consider your needs
that's right.
to give scholarship. But some schools are
Pay.
need based. They want to see, okay, how much do you need? If they are not able to provide how much you need, like maybe you've told them, oh, like see the scenario you painted, you made it look like, oh, you don't have anything, you are totally helpless. They'll be like, oh, even if you give him like 50%, that means he will not be able to raise the rest. So they'll just be like, okay, let's go and give somebody else that will probably maximize the 50%. So you need to, like Kingsford has said, you need to understand what you're applying to, know their requirement, know the things that they're looking out for. Another thing that I've seen is that people don't put in strong applications. Like when you're putting an application for scholarship, you want to present yourself in the best light, because these schools as well, and this also might not be limited to scholarship, but also maybe for admission, because schools want to see that you are going to be an asset to their to their campus. So talk about extracurricular activities that you do, volunteering activities that you've done, things that shows that you're also taking and giving back, not like you or just want people to be pouring into you. Okay, so if they give you this scholarship, why are they not giving it somebody else? Because it's very competitive, like we said. Okay, so let's move into something else. I just wanted to also have that. I realized that a lot of people most times are always looking for fee waivers. They're looking for this school, which school is giving this scholarship. You know, like everybody is facing one direction, but
Mhm.
there are some other sources that people can, take advantage of to
Mhm.
reduce their cost of coming into the United States. Can you share some of these things that you have come across?
Yeah. So first of all, I will start from what we call external scholarships. Scholarships are generally classified into internal and external scholarships. With the external, we are talking about scholarship sponsored, through, an organization. That is, we have the Fulbright from the US government. We have
Mm-hmm.
we have some scholarships. Let me go to Europe. Chevening. We have what they call Orange Scholarship from the Netherlands government, that from Germany. These are external scholarships whereby they sponsor you to study in a specific university. And what happens, sincerely speaking, those scholarships, they demand a lot. They go beyond just your grades. They need
Mm-hmm.
to provide something like leadership skills, um,
Mm-hmm.
sharing experience. They are looking out for something more than grades, because all the applicants, they are all doing well. So
Yeah, they're smart
they
students.
are smart too as well. They are all having 4.0. They are all having the 6 A's. They are all having the A's here and there. So what I would say is that generally those scholarships require you to put in a lot of effort, write essays upon essays. For Chevening, you write over 10 essays or so. That is in UK. If you come to US to Fulbright, you go through series of interviews. You will take GRE. They will pay for you to take it. Like they will really take you through the process. And getting this external scholarship, I would say from my experience, I stand to be corrected. It is not an easy task. Now, with the internal scholarships provided by the universities, that is, we can talk of the main one, graduate assistantship, which I have
Mm-hmm.
meant that they waive your tuition, they give you a stipend, health insurance, and also other bonuses. Then we talk about the assistantship. We have teaching assistantship, research assistantship,
Graduate
audit
assistant. Yeah.
and we come to tuition waiver scholarship. That is also there. We have entrance award scholarship. That is especially in Canada. They give you the money, just come and study, eat and sleep. That is there. You don't do anything in return. Now, people are looking generally for these ones that they forget that with the internal scholarships, we have a lot of opportunities in the school. For instance, let me use my school as an example, which can be like a standpoint for all the schools in US. Assuming you get admission into Michigan State University and your department didn't award you a graduate assistantship, how do you then get an assistantship in the school? One, we have the writing center. Two, housing and dining. Three, we have sports administration. We have admission office, international student office, graduate school. We have other research bodies. I can keep on mentioning and mentioning. But what you have to do is that ask your coordinator, what are the external GA opportunities available? What are the external on-campus employment that comes with waivers available? They have health research centers there. Ask, go to the website. If it doesn't give you a positive feedback, take your time. Personally go to your schools. We have what we call handshake. Each school is having a handshake. That is a
Yeah.
job opportunity.
Internet job application site, yeah, for students.
Perfect for schools. So once you've enrolled in the program and you don't have funding to come in, please go there. You will find a lot of opportunities and job postings there. Reach out to the financial aid office. Ask them, what are the openings available that I can leverage on? If you don't get any feedback from all these areas, that will be very unfortunate. But there's another last opportunity, that is Empower. Empower loans. I know it's not the best option, but assuming you come into the state with a partial funding and you are struggling, I would recommend you go for that to kind of ease the burden. Then later you look for other avenues to kind of work and pay. Yeah. So that's what I would say about the funding. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kingsford. To also add to this last point you mentioned, there are some students that don't get initial funding. It's
That's right.
just also encourage you out there, don't give up. Like when I came into the United States to study, I didn't have initial funding.
Mhm.
I got funding, like I didn't get initial full funding. I
Mhm.
had partial funding. In fact, the first 3 months, I didn't have funding. When I
Mhm.
came into the US, I didn't have funding. I didn't have graduate assistantship. It was when got on campus that, and it was so bad for us because it was during the pandemic.
Mhm.
So I was going from office to office to see different lecturers on campus. I had applied on the internal job sites.
Mhm.
I was not getting feedback because a lot of offices were right now at that point they were closed.
Those,
So
yeah.
I was going to see a lot of lecturers. Eventually, at a point, I volunteered in one place on campus. Based on my volunteering experience, they offered me. They were in the process of actually offering me full time. At that same time, I got a job in the library. That was how I got my first graduate assistantship. I gave me my partial tuition waiver. But by the grace of God, in the second year was when I got like full scholarship. So it's just to say out there that students should not be totally hinged on I must get full scholarship before
Before.
you look for you. I know that it's not easy for everybody, but as much as you can, you also try to raise some funds, discipline yourself to save some money before you come, so that in case you don't get full funding in the first semester or something before you come in, or if you don't get full funding, you can still have something to support yourself. So you don't just totally dismiss your goal and say, they're not giving me full funding. Because let's not lie, as you said, it's competitive. They can't give everybody scholarship. And some schools will not even give you initially. Something that maybe after you prove yourself, you can definitely get it. One thing I've also seen is that some schools, a lot of schools have internal scholarship sites. In my own school, we have internal scholarships. board. That was how I got the full funding I got later on. There are a lot of scholars. The funny thing was when I got on campus initially, I didn't know about it. I just heard some students talking about it later, and then I just applied, and that was how I got it eventually. So, as much as possible, this is just to round off to everybody. Don't be don't be discouraged. Don't
Right.
be discouraged at all. If you don't get scholarship or funding initially, don't think that that is the end. Some will come as partial graduate assistantship, and with most graduate assistantship that I know, they give you stipend and you waive your tuition. Like in my school, even if you don't get full funding, they'll waive as much as like 50% of your school fees every semester. So whatever balance you want to pay, you're able to pay from your graduate uh, salary. There are also other places where you can get scholarships. I've shared a bit of this on my channel. Like if you are, say, an engineering student, join professional organizations. Some of these people do share scholarship opportunities. Like I know of Nesby. There's also Thurgood Marshall College Fund. Thurgood Marshall is a very good recommended scholarship site. They give as much as $25,000, and if you are able to get it, you also get an opportunity to intern with Haku. After you intern with Haku, you have the opportunity to get a full-time position with them after college. So there are a lot of opportunities, but don't be hinged on only staying on one school. Another thing is when you don't expand your application net, you are limiting yourself. Some people will apply to only some set of schools. So what I usually encourage is your application net should be like in different categories. Apply to high range, mid range, whatever. Some can be your dream schools. Apply to them, is fine. They might give you admission. Apply to some schools that you know that okay, these ones they can give me admission. They have funding. So that at the end of the day, if one does not work, one will work. So don't be bent on only one school so that you maximize your opportunities. Like I believe that this has been very helpful to everybody. Kingsford, do you have any final word for everybody?
Yeah, I mean they shouldn't give up, and they should define their goal, and also understand that regardless of the information, everything you're providing, their intrinsic motivation is what matters, what keeps them going, the internal drive. If that is low, regardless of the effort that we are putting in, you can't.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Very stressful. Very
Mm-hmm. Very, very straight. And
important.
to
Yeah.
add to what you've said, one thing I've observed is that a lot of people don't even want to go through the stress. They want somebody to just tell me, like I've seen people join groups and just asking for final answer, and I'm like, are you sure you want? Because if you cannot do research as a person, coming into the United States to study is going to stress you out because most of your class assignments, work that you're doing, it's not as if one lecturer is going to be downpour. I don't know how it happens in your own school, Kingsford,
Yeah,
but my own experience, there's no lecturer that's going to pour in everything into your head. You need to do a lot of research.
that's
You
right.
need to do a lot of research. So I feel like one thing I also want to advise students is to, put in a lot of effort to, watch YouTube videos. When you see people share information, watch it to the end. Watch it, ask questions on those videos. Go ahead to also do more research. Don't relent. Don't stay in one corner. Yeah,
Yeah,
so thank you very much. I really enjoyed this session. Hopefully we can get to do more. And
sure,
Kingsford, also to appreciate you. I really love what you are doing. Keep
sure.
it up. Keep it up. Keep up the energy.
Thank- thank-
All right. All right, guys. So we see you next time. Take
Sure.
care and keep winning. We wish you all the best in your
That's
application and scholarship
that,
efforts.
that's right. They should subscribe, subscribe,
Yes,
subscribe,
so subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe.
subscribe.
It's very, very important.
All
It's very
right.
important.
All
All right.
right. Bye.
Bye.